Viewer discretion is advised with this video. I'm going to show you some sex education materials produced by the Scottish Government for use in schools with pupils aged 15 and up. They are distasteful, to say the least. So if you don't want to see it, it's time for you to move on. However, if you do want to see the corrupting and vulgar truth about what's going on in Scottish education, here we go. Imagine the scene. Let's say a male teacher welcoming his class. Hello Peter, hello James, hello Jenny, hello Katrina. There's a seat next to Peter at the front here. Come and sit here. How's your history project going? Oh, it's going well, thanks. Okay, I've got a video for you to watch today, class. It's about promoting anal sex.
There's also anal sex, which is the insertion of a penis or dildo into a partner's rectum. Though it's the primary form of sex among gay men, its popularity has surged among straight couples. A 2008 survey found that 44% of straight men and 36% of straight women have had anal sex. Your anus and surrounding area have a lot of nerve endings, including the pudendal nerve, which controls muscles in your external anal sphincter and carries sensations to the anus, penis, and clitoris. In men, penetration can stimulate the glandular organ known as the prostate. Though there's no published laboratory research, anecdotal evidence suggests that prostate orgasms are more powerful and pleasurable than penile-induced ones. For women, anal penetration can stimulate the perineal sponge, which sits between the vaginal opening and rectum, so pressure can result in pleasure and orgasm.
I don't believe the statistics in that video for a moment. I'm sure they didn't make them up completely, but I'm equally sure they're not from a representative sample. But the message through that video is clear, isn't it? The message is anal sex is probably better. Implication, why not give it a try? No reasons presented, why not? In fact, there are plenty of reasons to refrain from anal sex in terms of health risks, but the whole tone of this video is trivializing, it's providing inconsequential information, and it's entirely lacking in wisdom. Anyway, having extolled the virtues of anal sex, they present the young people with a couple of tips. Use condoms and lube for anal sex. It is safer and more pleasurable. Now, they do raise another issue here. They say that boys are often seeking anal sex with girls and the girls feel pressurized into it, even though they fear it might hurt or damage their reputation. It's almost as if the girls feel it might be dirty in some way. But then they're saying, but pornography seems to be promoting anal sex. But that's a bit of a problem for the people making these sex education resources. Could these same resources endorse pornography? The point's also made that boys try to persuade girls by saying you'll like it if you try it. But then this video is saying that that's precisely true. So really contradictory messages coming through and showing again a lack of critical thought in the people putting these materials together. Anyway, if anal sex is demeaning to girls, why is it not to boys? But of course they can't be too negative about anal sex or Stonewall might start objecting. And I'd love to ask Nicola Sturgeon, First Minister's Question Time, would she like to deliver the lesson on anal sex in a Scottish school? If she's too embarrassed to do it, if she would feel uncomfortable doing that, why does she expect teachers to do it? And how many teachers are put off teaching by the expectation that you have to be involved in this sort of thing? Now class, we're going to move on and look at oral sex.
Oral sex on women can provide direct stimulation to the clitoris.
Oral sex. Who's doing it? What do they think about it? There are different types of oral sex involving using your mouth and tongue to stimulate a woman's vagina, a man's penis, or a person's anus. Right, a person's anus. That, to me, is a disgusting perversion of sexuality, and this has been taught to Scottish young people, though this is perfectly natural. Remember, the Scottish Government's definition of sex is basically sticking something in something. So this is just another form of sex, just equally valid, the same as all of the others, according to them, but it's not. Right, in a study, over 3/4 of men and women had experienced oral sex in the year of the survey. Rubbish. Again, that's completely distorted. There's no way that's from a representative sample of the entire adult population of Scotland or Britain or anywhere. So well done class, we've covered anal and oral sex and there's a bit of time left. So why don't we squeeze in a bit more trivialization of sex?
Sex can feel pretty great, but have you ever stopped in the middle of it to wonder why?
So Jenny, have you ever stopped in the middle of having sex and wondered why it felt so good? Katrina, have you? You see here just the assumption of sexual activity in the video.
For those with a penis, blood flow engorges the 3 spongy areas along the length of the shaft, creating an erection. For those with a vagina,
person with a penis, person with a vagina. If only we had some more succinct terms we could use for those. I'll suggest some. Person with a penis, PWP. Person with a vagina, PWV. It's a start. Now we could learn something here about the potential effects of your sexual choices on your future partner and children. But instead, we're going to learn about penis angles.
researchers have actually documented penetrative vaginal intercourse by getting 8 couples to perform missionary sex in an MRI tube. This study revealed that during intercourse, 2/3 of the erect penis is pendulous and moved upwards at an angle of about 120 degrees from the root of the penis.
Now, science does have a lot of interesting things to say about sex. For example, the bonding effect of sex is very powerful. It helps a couple form a lifelong committed living relationship, ideal for bringing up children. That bonding effect is strongest the first time a person has sex. The more sexual partners a person has, the less strong this bonding effect becomes. So therefore they're less likely to enjoy stable family life in the future. And that's a big deal. That's one of the most important things to understand about sex. One of the chemicals involved in this process is oxytocin.
At the same time, oxytocin, the hormone responsible for bonding, is released from the pituitary gland, making you more likely to cuddle up after sex.
So we are. They ignore all of the vital information about long-term bonding effects of sex, and they just say it makes you want to cuddle, which is pretty trivial. Now, it's not that the people writing these materials in Education Scotland, etc., it's not that they understand these principles but decide to miss them out. They just don't understand it. I remember once talking to a teacher who taught relationship, sexual health, education, and they said they just didn't understand marriage. They couldn't see the point of it. I thought that's like a maths teacher saying they can't see the point of division. If you don't understand that, you don't understand the basic philosophy that's applicable in the field. So really in Scottish education, to a very large extent, we've got the blind leading the blind. Our society's understanding of sex and marriage has been severely degraded. Education should be the means by which a society passes on its values to each new generation. Whereas in Scotland, with regard to this, education is the means by which society passes on its lack of values to each new generation. We're not here to bemoan the state of things, we're here to change it in the sphere where the relevant decisions are made, and that's the Scottish Parliament. So do share this video with people you think might be interested, and do support us in our campaign. The best way you can support us is by joining the Scottish Family Party right now. There's a link in the description for this video. Thanks for watching.